Hello, friends. Let's see. Oh, get my camera right. I don't know what my hair's doing. There we go. Guess I just blow dry it. Hello, hello. Let me give everybody a minute to join. Lots to talk about today. And today's episode is going to be a little bit short because I have lunch plans, but Thursday I'm going to do a longer live. So say hello and let me know where you're joining from. I just posted on social media the link to join us live. So hi, say hi in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. You can hit the notification bell so you always know when I go live. I'm Heidi Hope, and this is Miracle Mornings. Hi, Sean, my #1 fan. So today's conversation is a prelude to Thursday's conversation, which is going to be much longer. And it's what I'm going to be devoting the entire membership, my membership community, the She's Gone Free community. You can get the link to that right below in the description of this video. You can join my membership community if you use the code YouTube, because you're watching this channel, you get 50% off. So you can join for just $13.50 a month, which is like a trip to Starbucks. And we do a monthly coaching call. And I also share lots of information and guided meditations, visualizations. There's all sorts of stuff in the membership. There's parts of my course, which is called Unbound. And I want to devote October to the topic of the witch's wound. And I'm going to talk about what that is in today's episode, because why not? I feel like it's kind of been activated globally, collectively by recent events. And yeah, I'm just excited to dive into healing it with my group in October. But I want to share a bunch of other stuff with you today too, which is not so somber. Like my paint party bags, I have the prototypes in for these, and I'm actually working on custom corporate ones for a local business. So I can customize these to any party theme. I'm going to be doing Christmas ones, but this is the St. Augustine style one. So basically the idea of it is it's like a paint party to go without an instructor. You can just do it on your own. It's for 1 to 4 people per bag, but the bigger bags I'm doing for corporate are going to be for 12 people. So if you have a larger party or a business that wants to partake in it, it's basically to get together, everybody have some painting to do and get into flow state. It's a good bonding activity for friends, for an activity to do at a party or even a kid's birthday parties. I am going to be doing kids bags too. And yeah, it's just fun to get together and paint. So you can do it over a glass of wine or at your next party. So these are the St. Augustine bags, and each bag comes with a little instructional card. There's instructions on the back of the custom bags too. And it comes with a watercolor set, and I can price these out per your event too. So more expensive paint sets or less expensive paint sets, depending on what your budget is, paint brushes, water cups, and then it has custom drawn postcards by me. So this one's a St. Augustine theme. So it's got the Bridge of Lions, these are Florida oranges, and then the back of them is just it's a postcard. So you could send them out, but you could just keep it. You could put it in a little 5x7 frame. They make really good hostess gifts. Great around the holidays, like to dress up a gift card or something. So there's just a bunch of there's the gates, the historic gates in St. Augustine, this is upside down on my camera. There's little like cocktails, oysters. There's the St. Augustine Lighthouse. So just these little drawings, and it's basically like, a grown-up coloring book or a kid coloring book. It doesn't really matter. It's just about having fun and getting into the flow state with watercolors. So, yeah, you just get together with people and paint. So each bag could be for one person. If you want to paint all these cards, there's also blank cards included, so you can get creative and paint whatever you want on the blank cards, and fill out the other ones. And they're all signed. All the postcards are signed by me on the back. These are all original drawings by moi. So yeah, if you want to order these for holiday parties, if you're doing custom cards, like I'm doing custom cards for the business that I'm working with locally, those take a couple weeks to come in, and there would be like a minimum order, 50, I think is the minimum. So that's just to keep that in mind. But if you want something for like next week, or these are cute holiday gift ideas too. You can, I have most of this stuff in stock, so I usually can put together a smaller order. So just DM me, get in touch with me to create a custom. I will be getting a listing of these up on my website too. But so you can order them there. But if I bundle them together, I can help save on shipping and stuff too. So it's better to just DM me for a custom quote for those. So paint bags are in and ready to sell. My ornaments are almost finished. I took a break after doing them all September. I was kind of burnt out on the ornaments, and my office space was an absolute disaster. So I put those aside for a minute to just rest on the ornaments, but I will be getting back into those and getting those listed really soon for you. I'm also taking commissions. This is a church I'm working on right now. It's a watercolor. It's a big one. This is 18 by 24, I think. Yeah, 18 by 24. Those big watercolors are 500, but I can go down to like an 8 by 10 for 100. And I can do houses, architecture, a favorite location. People have me do these as anniversary gifts. I think first anniversary is paper too. So that's a fun one, but even any anniversary, sentimental places, whatever, I can do those. I am taking commissions, and they will be done before the holidays, but you want to get that in soon. Again, you can just email me, Heidi@HeidiHope.com, or DM me on any of my social media platforms. Everything's listed below in the description of this video. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, so I think I put in the title of this, The Rapture. I don't know if you guys have seen that today is supposed to be the rapture. So we'll see what happens. I have lunch plans. I don't think it's going to interfere with those. I'm probably going to get a cheeseburger because I'm in the mood for one. And who knows, the rapture could be happening today. There is, a lot. There's been a lot going on in the news, and it's kind of inspired me to go revisit the idea of the witch's wound, which I talk about a lot in my private membership group. It's something that I first heard of on another podcast. And how many years ago was that? I don't know. I was already doing my membership group because I remember as soon as I heard that podcast, I remember talking to all of them about it, because what I heard rang so true to my own experience. So what exactly is it, and why am I talking about it right now? Well, obviously we're headed into October, which is the witchy month. It's also my birthday month, by the way. Libra, October 20th coming up. So the witch's wound, it's also can be referred to as persecution imprint, or the light workers persecution imprint. I've heard it called a lot of different things, but it's basically an energetic block in the throat chakra, which is the energy center of the throat, which can interfere with communication, with putting yourself out there, with fully expressing yourself authentically, with showing your creativity, your artwork, your healing abilities. And a lot of people who are creatives and artists or healers, so like people who go into nursing and medicine and doctors and alternative medicines and functional medicine and all that stuff, the women buying and selling essential oils, or, if you are drawn to healing arts or any of the arts, which are self-expression and creativity, so fine arts, painting, music, singing is a huge one, actually. And I think singers by nature help kind of clear that block just because they're constantly using their voices. Public speaking, if you're a public speaker, if you are drawn to advocacy and really speaking out on topics, you may notice this underlying energetic pattern in your life. So basically, where does it come from? What is it? How do you know if you have it? How do you go about healing it? I'm going to talk more about this all on Thursday. I just wanted to bring it up. So if you're really interested in it, tune into Thursday's episode at 11 a.m. And I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into it, including how to heal it. And I'm devoting October in my membership group. It's the She's Gone Free membership It is normally $27 a month, but you can use the code YouTube for watching this channel and get it for 50% off. So for just $13.50 for the month of October, you can join anytime, you can cancel anytime. You see, it's a ton of information, coaching calls and guided meditations and all this stuff. And I go in depth into that, but I'm going to be specifically doing a lot of exercises in October. Why? Because I think that this wound has been collectively, globally activated by recent current events. So what has activated it? I think watching a public figure who was murdered for his speech, essentially, activated that, because that's the core of the wound. The core of the wound is, for thousands of years, people who were gifted, who were healers, who were maybe just really smart, who had different abilities, who were artists, who were more fringe maybe, or had fringe beliefs or beliefs that were maybe progressive for their time, were often persecuted and killed. So there's just thousands of years that that's happened globally. And that carries itself. So epigenetics tells us that any trauma is passed down in our DNA for, I think it's like 7 or 8 generations. So there's that. A lot of my New England ladies, if you had ancestors who were in New England during the Salem witch trials and all that, you probably have a little bit of this running through you too. And it doesn't even have to be your direct bloodline. It's also just a collective energy. So it's kind of a collective wound, I would say, in our psyches and humanity's psyche. So if you ever read any of Eckhart Tolle's books, he talks about pain bodies. So pain bodies are like collective wounds, essentially, that we carry psychologically. And so there's the female pain body that all women have, just because we're women. And there's a masculine one too. And then there's countrywide ones related to what's happened in the history of a country. There's ethnic ones related to your ethnicity. There's ones just from your family unit, obviously, like ancestral healing and all that stuff comes into play with the familial ones. So I believe that the witch's wound is just a collective pain body that a lot of us share psychologically. And what it does when you're experiencing it is it a lot of times makes people play small. So they're afraid to speak up. They're afraid to express views like this that people might say, like, that's really weird. What the heck are they talking about? It can make you not, if you're an artist, maybe not want to show your work, or just kind of keep things private. If you have a fear of public speaking, it's like having that block in the throat. You can feel it. I mean, I even see my kids with it. If they have to, give a speech, like public speaking is a big one. I think that's like the biggest fear of humanity is public speaking. So I think all of us have it to some degree. But there are ways you can see it playing out in your life, ways that you shrink yourself, ways that you hide, ways that you play small, ways that you feel unworthy of, or scared. A lot of people are scared of being too seen, like scared of a certain level of success, because they're afraid that that level of success is going to make them be too seen. So this is something I've noticed as a pattern, not just the energetic block in the throat, but actually, like, I look back and I was like, oh my gosh, if I look at almost every injury over the course of my life, it was always related to my throat. Like, I always had sore throats. I got my tonsils out. I had tonsillitis. I got my tonsils out. I had a vasovagal reflex. I used to faint a lot as a kid, as my throat would close up, I would faint. So I actually physically choked once. My parents and my brothers were up at, my brother was in the Nintendo Championships in Worcester, Massachusetts, and they were away, and I was at a neighbor's house, and the girls, we were all like, the moms were having like cheese and crackers and wine, and they went upstairs to go look at wallpaper or something in one of the rooms. And we ran into the kitchen and we were like stuffing our faces with all the cheese and crackers and kielbasa. And I started choking on a piece of kielbasa. And one of the moms was a nurse, and she came downstairs and had to perform the Heimlich maneuver on me. So that's a fun story from childhood. So I looked back and I was like, oh my gosh, almost every trauma. I was in a really bad car accident when I was 16, and I had really bad whiplash, and my spine kind of curves the wrong way in the back there. So I've always had all sorts of neck problems, pinched nerves in the neck, all that stuff. So you may recognize, if you've had a lot of injuries, also women with thyroid issues and hypothyroidism. This could also be related. It's going to present itself as throat problems usually, and also the psychological kind of stuff. So how do we go about clearing that? That is, I'm going to get into more of that on Thursday, and I'm devoting the whole month in the She's Gone Free membership to that. So if this sounds like something that you've experienced or maybe struggling with, join us and join the conversation. I will say in that group, I do keep that group completely politics free. And that's just because I see things as very divisive, and what we highlight in that group is our sameness, is the things that we share in common. So I know that the whole group is made up of all different people with all different belief systems. And I love that. And I honor that. And I am so much a person of like freedom of belief and freedom of speech and all that stuff. But I don't go into any divisive topics because I just think that's playing into the energy of separation. And that is just not my purpose here on earth. Like, my purpose is to find the common grounds and the ways in which we are the same and connected. And I think that connection is the opposite of evil, really. It's connection is the opposite of depression. It's the opposite of anxiety. It is that community connection. So if that sounds like a group you would want to be a part of and something you want to learn more about, go to HeidiHopeLearning.com, click on the She's Gone Free membership, and you can join today and say hi to us in our group. I'll add you to the private Facebook group. And there's all sorts of stuff on the website too that you can start listening to. I would start with the guided visualization to manifest your dream life, lay out those goals. The women in that group have achieved such incredible things. That's what's kept me going. I don't do it for the money. I don't charge a lot for it. I would do it for free, actually. I just have the platforms to pay for. But I do it because I've just watched really miraculous things happen for all the women in the group. Like, what they thought was a crazy idea or a crazy dream has come true by now in the past few years. And then it's time to expand more. It's time to dream bigger. You know, every time we achieve a goal, our nature as humans is to expand and create. And so once we have created our reality to be what we want it to be, our natural inclination is to continue to expand and dream a little bit bigger. And like, how much can we create in our one life here? And this is why I also don't like draining any energy or attention whatsoever into something that's really divisive. Because honestly, I don't think we know the truth. I don't think anybody really knows the truth of anything. I think that everything we see is like a whole bunch of brainwashing on one side or the other. And I do love to like dig into, I like to try to solve the problem. I like to try to like dig in and find out all the details. So I like conspiracy theories for that reason. I like to see different patterns in behavior and speech and all that stuff and like try to solve the puzzle. But it's not for any like one side being right or wrong. I just don't care. I mean, I think the only winners are the people who are happy. So if you're not happy, you're not winning. So do what brings you joy. And I gave advice to one of my friends because we were both sharing videos back and forth, and it's kind of exhausting to try to follow along with like who's telling the truth. And my advice is, when you get overwhelmed with that stuff, is literally like put on music and do something fun and create something. Instead of consuming all this, we consume so much, and at heightened times in the world, when there are big news stories, we get sucked in even more. And when we give our attention and energy to anything like that, it's taking it away from what we could be creating within our lives. Physically, like, yeah, painting a picture, but just like creating anything, like creating success, creating happiness, creating wellness, creating healing within our bodies. That's what our energy and attention should be focused on. So just like snap out of the doom scroll and get busy creating something. So block it out, put on music, go for a run, go for a walk in nature, do a short meditation. There's all sorts of free meditations on YouTube. If you join the She's Gone Free membership, I have a ton of recorded meditations in there. Paint a picture, do an adult coloring book, sit down and just do a stream of consciousness writing for 10 or 15 minutes, like a brain dump on paper. Anything that is fun for you and gets you into the creative flow state is beneficial. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'm going to call it quits here. I do have lunch plans, but please give this video a like. subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends. October, if you are a member inside She's Gone Free, or you're a previous member and you're not in there anymore, October is going to be a great month to join, because I'm going to focus a lot on healing the witch's wound and talking about that. I think it's very, very activated in the collective right now. And it's an ideal time when things are, we don't have to go hunting for what's wrong and heal every little thing. But when things come up and they arise, that's when we address them. And so I think that this energy has really come up on a global scale for us to address and to start to heal and release. So we're going to be doing a lot of that in the membership. If you think you have creative friends, witchy friends, expressive friends, healer type friends that would want to join us in the community, it's a really uplifting, inspiring, positive community space where we dig deep and we hold each other up through. There's been a lot of hard times that we've been in that community since 2020. So a lot has changed in the world, but we've all created and manifested some really miraculous things. And it's inspired this show, Miracle Mornings. This is a lot of what I'm talking about on these lives is what we talk about in that group too. So I hope you'll join us for October for just $13.50 a month. It's like one trip to Starbucks. And who knows what you can manifest with the mindset shifts and the energy healing that we do in that group. So hope to see you in there. Thanks for being here today. And if you want paint party bags for your upcoming holiday parties, just send me a message, DM me, or email Heidi@HeidiHope.com. And I can come up with a custom quote for you. And keep an eye out for the ornaments. Those will be ready soon too. All right. Bye, everybody.